Everyone knows that tenders are a mark of distinction, but I'm afraid that no amount of tenders will save you in the end. We diesels are taking over, and we don't need tenders to make us important, not even one. Gordon was most upset. He was feeling just the same next day. I'm not happy. I know, said Duck. It's boiler ache. It's not boiler ache, protested Gordon. It's... Of course it is, interrupted Henry. That water's bad. Have a good washout. Then you'll feel a different engine. Your boiler must be full of sludge. Don't be vulgar, huffed Gordon. He backed down onto his train, hissing mournfully. Cheer up, Gordon, said Sir Topham Hatt. I can't, sir. Is it true what Diesel says, sir? What does he say? That diesels are taking over.
Ready, steady, go. And they jerked at a coupling, which broke. We're making your wish come true, Toad. Follow the leader, yelled the freight cars. Toad was still in a state of shock, so he didn't know what to think. And he couldn't ask the conductor. He had jumped clear. Faster, faster, as fast as you want, screamed the freight cars. Suddenly, Toad found it fun. But the fun was soon over. A crossing lay ahead and the gates were closed. Toad couldn't stop. Worse still, Toad now realized he was on the wrong track. There ahead was Gordon. The signalman changed the points just in time. On, faster, cried the freight car. Suddenly, he saw James pulling a long, slow train. Oh my goodness! Help! Save me! A quick-thinking shunter did, just in time. Oliver, you have caused confusion. I thought you could control freight cars. You shall work the mail train for a while. Maybe the night air will clear your smoke box. Yes, sir. Sorry, sir, said Oliver sadly. Cheer up, old chap, said his driver. The mail train run is a grand run for a fine engine like you. Oliver smiled, but he still felt he had let everyone down. His driver took them along the coastal run with the mail train. The fresh air couldn't help but brighten Oliver's spirits. They made good speed until it was time to collect some important mail from Harold the helicopter.
And when they arrived at Tidmouth's sheds, they discovered that they had been knocked down. Cinders and ashes, cried Thomas. What's happened to our sheds? Building the new ones was our important job, oiled Diesel. But we were delayed, so we couldn't finish it.
And bananas are no good for building sheds,
Sir Topham Hatt added. The steam engines were cross with the diesel engines. The diesels had ruined their home. But Thomas was sad. He knew it was his fault. Now where will we sleep? Moaned Henry. They soon found out. The engines puffed across the island. That night, they each had to sleep somewhere else. James had to stay at the dirty, dusty coaling plant.
No more searching today, Thomas. We forgot our shovels, eh?
And I'm too small to be out on the rails in the day when the big engines are rushing about.
Hey, that's it. We'll continue tomorrow night, Thomas. Up anchor, skiff. We're heading for home.
I can't, Sailor John. There's no breeze. The wind has died down unless... I'm going as fast as a real engine now!
Thomas was waiting at a junction when a bus arrived. Hello, said Thomas. Who are you? I'm Bertie. Who are you? I'm Thomas. I run this branch line. So you're Thomas. Ah, I remember now. You got stuck in the snow. I took your passengers and Terrence the tractor pulled you out. I've come to help you with your passengers today. Help me, said Thomas. I can go faster than you. You can't, said Bertie. I can, huffed Thomas. I'll race you, said Bertie. Their drivers agreed to the race going ahead. The station master said, "Are you ready? Go!" Thomas never could go fast at first, and Bertie drew in front. Why don't you go fast? Why don't you go fast?
Yes, I am. Why? Because I'm going there too. I think something's up. Toby looked up at the sky. Where? Not up there. Down here, laughed Thomas. How can something be up when it's down? Thomas was too excited to explain. Bust my buffers. Look over there. Mavis, Boko, Bill, Ben, Donald, Oliver, and Douglas paraded past. Good evening, you three, whistled Donald. Aren't we all a fine sight? Very splendid indeed, admired Toby. Sorry we can't stop. Sir Topham Hatt wants us all together at the station. What is this about? Asked Thomas. Sir Topham Hatt has a plan, answered his driver. Come on.
At the yards, Percy was collecting trucks. Then he heard Boulder. "Oh no, heading straight for me!" squeaked Percy. When Sir Topham Hatt inspected the damage, he decided to close the mine. Then he looked at Boulder. "We should have left this part of the island alone." They moved Boulder to a hill close by the yards. Musty is sure that on a clear night it is gazing up at the mountain and that its sides are being carried on the wind to where it once used to stand proud and silent. The engines on the island of Sodor look forward to Halloween. They love Sir Topham Hatt's fireworks and the children dressing up as wizards and witches. They also love Edward's spooky stories. They say that on Halloween, the ghost engine returns to the smelters looking for his lost whistle. Ooh, 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 spooky, the engine said, all shivering a little. Later, Sir Topham Hatt arrived. "Thomas, Percy, and Duck, I have a special job for you. You are to collect some scrap from the smelter's yard tonight. On Halloween? Don't worry, you will be back in time for the fireworks." Percy isn't worried about missing the fireworks, teased Thomas. He's a scaredy engine. I am not, called Percy, but he was a little. "Oh, I thought I might catch a bit of sea breeze." "You really do miss the sea, don't you?" asked Mavis. "Aye," said Salty. "I do." But Salty knew the quarry work was important. The next day, he tried to show Bill and Ben his secret with the trucks. "I like working to a musical rhythm," he said. "And so do the trucks. Why don't you give it a try, me hearties?" "Here we go, here we go, here we go. No, we don't, no, we don't, no, we don't. But try as they might, Bill and Ben could not move the trucks the way Salty could.
Go! Thomas never could go fast at first, and Bertie drew in front. "Why don't you go fast? Why don't you go fast?" called Annie and Clarabelle. Wait and see, hissed Thomas. "He's a long way ahead," they wailed. But Thomas didn't mind. He'd remembered the level crossing. There was Bertie fuming at the gates while they sailed gaily through. "Goodbye, Bertie," called Thomas. After that, the road left the railway so they couldn't see Bertie. Then they had to stop at the station to let off passengers.
I've got a plan, Mr. Douglas. May I stay here today and help Mr. Oliver? We are both Great Western and must stand together. Certainly, Toad, replied Douglas and puffed away. Soon Toad was explaining his plan. Goodness gracious, Toad, I don't think you should suggest such a thing to Oliver. But Oliver interrupted. No, Duck, Toad's right. It's really my fault. I must put this trouble right.
I meant no disrespect, you understand.
Of course not, Toad. Anyway, Driver says the same, and he's arranged it with the station master. Very well, Oliver, conceded Duck. But I must hurry. My passengers will be waiting. Good luck. So long, smiled Oliver bravely, but he felt dreadfully nervous inside. Oliver marshaled the worst cars 2 by 2.